Hi, welcome to the Cetec ERP guide to self-implementation. My name is Tanner. I'll help you out today. This one will be a quick one. I want to talk about bonus columns in Cetec. Now, you may have seen these in other bits of documentation or even in this guide referenced a few times. But I want to be very clear of what bonus columns are in Cetec and how you can use them as you're getting set up. So if I go to admin and I go to maintenance and I go to bonus columns, you'll see this big list. This is currently a fixed list, meaning only Cetec ERP can add these. These are for our control only. However, your customization lies within creating bonus columns within these objects. So all of these are objects. For example, some that are pretty clear are part, um, where we are customer, vendor, those are objects in the system. So when you have a customer record and you log into Cetec and you go to a customer and you see all these fields and you say, oh, goodness, there's so much I can add here. Let's go look for Edge products. Let's go look at that customer record. And whether you imported this or added it manually and you see all these fields, this is great, all these things that I can edit. But then you think to yourself, oh, I'm actually missing something from my previous system that I actually like to keep track of. I want to add that in. That's what bonus columns are for. So again, admin, maintenance, bonus columns. If you go to customer here, you'll see there's already one there just called priority. Priority is the name entered when you type in this title here. No need to put in a technical name. The only thing that you'll want to add here is the title and the data type. Now, the data type just means what is the type of input here. So text, 50 characters, 100 characters. There's also text area, a large input. This is quite large, not unlimited, but very, very large. There's another one, just checkbox, select box, a meaning from a comma delimited selection that you input, date range or a date input rather, and then radio buttons like check yes, check no. Right. So those are your options as of now. So this is helpful as you are setting up your environment, your system. You're looking at all the information within Cetec and think, I need an extra custom field. That's what bonus columns are for. Now, a few gotchas or a few things that will definitely help you out that may not be super clear here as you're learning Cetec. You'll see P quote here. P quote stands for purchasing quote. That means when you create a PO, you technically start with a purchasing quote. You create a purchasing quote that converts into a purchase order. So it's one and then the other. Notice you're not seeing purchase order here because we actually store that in P quote first. It will translate or transition into purchase order. So if you say, when I create a PO, there's all these fields in Cetec, but I need this extra custom thing or extra custom field, it's P quote is what you're looking for. Well, then there's the line level information, right? So there's a P quote header, like the vendor info and maybe some shipping info as well that applies to all of your lines. But then there's the P quote lines themselves, right? That you may need custom fields there. Those turn into PO lines. Same thing with quotes. Quotes turn into orders, which turn into invoices. So if you're thinking, hey, I need to add an invoice column. Well, it's actually in the quote because the quote again turns into an invoice, turns into an order, which then turns into an invoice. Same thing with quote line, right? If I go to quote line, you'll see I have 5 of these. Parts to call out, type, deposit required, right? So you'll see a lot of those there. Now, there are some neat things you can do with bonus columns. Is you can pull data from another object. So in this case, if you have a whip bin location is the title of this bonus column for the quote line, and you say, well, I have the same exact bonus column called whip bin location in the parts. So let me just automate that. So if I have that data in the part record, I populate that on my parts, and then I automate that to my quote lines. I've named them the same thing, and I've set up object types to pull value from here. So that's neat. Give that a go when you go to your parts and you add that column there. Here's an example of a comma delimited or from select options there. So direct, indirect, more direct, right? Clicked up update. So you can edit your existing ones there. And then lastly, you have this searchable option. So if you click searchable on any of these, in this case, it's for the parts. If you go to your parts list, drawing number will be a searchable number because you've clicked searchable there. It's not the case for all of them. You may not need all of them to be searchable, but you could certainly toggle that, right? So you'll see now drawing number is a searchable field within the parts list. So that's good to know. Last thing here, If you are intending to import your own data and you have this data and you want it to be a part of your customer import, your part import, your sales order import, that is supported, right? So if you go to a part import and you test your parts, you'll see all of these bonus columns listed for a part import. You'll see type, you'll see usage, you'll see drawing number. If you're wanting to make this go by quicker in terms of the selection for those, you'll see what I mean when you watch those videos. In your column headers of your Excel spreadsheets, use the technical name here. So use usage underscore BC, type underscore BC. Just use whatever's listed there, right? You'll see that play out when you actually watch the importing videos. But again, the bonus columns, we call these bonus columns, and they're is quite simply custom fields, right? So use those as you will. Add them. Be cautious about taking them away if you realize that they are critical data points, because they will quite literally drop from the database and you won't be able to see whatever information you've put in there moving forward. So on your customer records, if you use priority pretty heavily and you decide to drop this, well, that'll be gone. So be very careful about doing that. Good luck. If you have any questions on this or a little antsy about what some of this means, feel free to reach out to support@cetecherp.com and we'll help you out with that. All right, y'all have a good one. We will talk to you soon.